Today I'm excited to share with you a simple yet powerful routine for achieving massive wealth. This isn't about getting lucky or hitting the jackpot. It's about a daily practice that aligns your mind and body with the energy of abundance. This routine, grounded in the principles of neuroscience and quantum physics, can transform your life. So let's dive in and explore how you can create the wealth you desire. Every morning when we wake up, our brains are filled with memories and emotions from the past. These are circuits and connections that have been reinforced over time. When you start your day, you're often operating from these old patterns. You think about your problems, and each of those problems is tied to specific memories and emotions. If your brain is a record of the past, you're already thinking and feeling as if you're stuck in the past. And if your brain is a record of the past, your future is likely to mirror that past. To break free from this cycle and create massive wealth, you need to shift your focus. This begins with a simple but crucial change in how you start your day. The key is to consciously choose how you want to feel and think, rather than being controlled by the remnants of your past. Here's a step-by-step routine that can help you align with the energy of wealth and abundance. First, take a few moments each morning to disconnect from your usual routine. Turn off your phone, shut down your computer, and step away from all the distractions. Find a quiet place where you can sit comfortably and close your eyes. This is your time to reconnect with yourself and set the stage for the day ahead. Let's dive into how to center yourself and stay focused on the present moment. To start, take several deep breaths. Breathing deeply helps you calm your mind and body. Find a quiet place where you can sit comfortably. Close your eyes if that feels good to you. Begin by taking a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Fill your lungs completely and hold the breath for a moment. Then slowly exhale through your mouth. As you breathe out, imagine releasing any tension or stress. Repeat this process a few times. Deep breathing helps to ground you and bring your attention back to the present moment. When you focus on your breathing, you shift your attention away from thoughts about yesterday or worries about tomorrow. Often, our minds are busy with memories of the past or concerns about the future. These thoughts can distract us and drain our energy. By concentrating on your breath, you gently guide your mind back to the here and now. Now let's talk about the importance of being present. When you are fully present, you are in the moment. This state of being is crucial for creating the reality you want. Being present means you are not overwhelmed by past regrets or future anxieties. Instead, you are fully engaged with what's happening right now. This clarity and energy are essential for focusing on your goals and desires. As you continue to breathe deeply, you may notice that your thoughts start to drift back to the past. This is completely normal. The mind often wanders, especially when we are trying to focus on the present. When this happens, gently bring your attention back to your breath and the present moment. Don't be hard on yourself if your mind keeps wandering. Just gently guide it back. Think of the present moment as a blank canvas. It's where all possibilities exist. In this space, you have the power to create your future. When you are present, you are in a position to make clear decisions and take inspired actions. You are not influenced by past experiences or future uncertainties. Instead, you are grounded and ready to create the reality you desire. While you're practicing staying present, you might find it helpful to use a simple technique. After your deep breathing, spend a few minutes reflecting on what you want to achieve. Visualize your goals clearly in your mind. Imagine yourself living the life you want. Feel the emotions associated with that life. As you do this, stay focused on the feelings and images in your mind. This practice helps reinforce your intention and aligns your energy with your goals. Another useful practice is to notice how you feel in the present moment. Are you relaxed or tense? Are you calm or anxious? Becoming aware of your emotional state can help you understand how you're responding to your environment. If you're feeling stressed or uneasy, take a few more deep breaths and gently guide yourself back to a place of calm and focus. Once you're grounded in the present, ask yourself a powerful question. Can I be defined by a vision of the future instead of the memories of the past? What do I truly want to achieve in my life? Take some time to answer this question and get clear about your vision for wealth. As you contemplate and define what wealth means to you, you're actually changing your brain. You're creating new neural pathways that align with your vision. Let's explore how to create the emotions you want to feel when you achieve wealth. Imagine having all the financial abundance you've ever dreamed of. Picture yourself living in that reality. Now think about how you would feel if you were already there. Would you feel joy, excitement, gratitude? These are the emotions you need to focus on. It's important to start feeling these emotions even before you actually reach your financial goals. Your brain and body don't distinguish between what's happening in the real world and what you're imagining or feeling in your mind. They react to your thoughts and feelings as if they are real experiences. Here's how you can use this to your advantage. Begin by setting aside some quiet time each day. Close your eyes and vividly imagine your life with financial abundance. See yourself enjoying the benefits of wealth. Perhaps you're traveling, buying your dream home, or helping others. As you picture these scenes, focus on the emotions that come with them. Feel the joy, excitement, and gratitude as if these things are happening right now. Why is this so important? Because your body and brain will start to get used to these emotions. When you feel these positive emotions regularly, even before your external circumstances change, you are training your body to be in alignment with your future reality. You are conditioning yourself to be prepared for the wealth you are working towards. Imagine your emotions like a guide that leads you to your goal. If you consistently practice feeling joy, excitement, and gratitude, you are setting a strong foundation for your future. These emotions will start to become a natural part of who you are. This means that when your financial abundance does arrive, it will feel familiar and comfortable because you've been preparing for it. Think about this. If you've ever had a strong emotional reaction to something you imagined, like winning a prize or achieving a big goal, you probably felt real happiness and excitement. Your brain and body reacted as if it was actually happening. This is how powerful your emotions are. They can influence how you experience your reality. With these emotions in mind, mentally rehearse the actions you need to take to manifest your wealth. Imagine yourself making the decisions, taking the steps, and acting in ways that align with your vision of financial abundance. This rehearsal doesn't just prepare your mind, it helps to install new neurological hardware in your brain, making the future more tangible and real. To achieve lasting change, it's important to leave behind old limiting thoughts and behaviors. Take a moment to identify thoughts that no longer serve you. Thoughts like, "I can't do this," "it's too hard," or "I'll never be successful." Write them down and make a conscious decision to let them go. Similarly, examine your actions and behaviors. Are there habits or routines that hold you back? Perhaps you procrastinate or doubt yourself. Recognize these patterns and commit to changing them. Let's talk about emotions and how they affect your journey to wealth. To build a life of abundance, you need to focus on your emotional state. Your feelings play a huge role in shaping your reality. If you want to be wealthy, you have to let go of emotions that don't support your goal. First, let's identify some emotions that don't fit with a future of wealth. Feelings like lack, insecurity, and doubt are examples of emotions that can hold you back. These feelings are rooted in the idea that there isn't enough or that you're not good enough. If you want to achieve wealth, you can't afford to keep these emotions. They're like old habits that need to be replaced. Your goal is to create a new emotional state. Imagine how you would feel if you were already living in abundance. You would likely feel confident, joyful, and secure. These are the emotions that match a wealthy mindset. To make these feelings a part of your daily life, you need to practice them regularly. Start by setting aside a few minutes each day to focus on how you want to feel. Close your eyes and imagine yourself living your dream life. Picture the details of your life with wealth and abundance. As you do this, focus on the emotions that come with it. Feel the confidence, joy, and security in your body. Let these feelings grow stronger each day. It's important to practice these emotions even before your external situation changes. This means you need to feel confident and joyful now, not just when you achieve your goal. By doing this, you're training your body and mind to align with your desired future. Imagine your emotions as a bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. If you hold on to negative emotions like lack or insecurity, you're building a bridge that leads to more of the same. But if you focus on positive emotions like abundance and confidence, you're building a bridge to your future wealth. Every day, take a few moments to check in with yourself. Ask yourself if you're holding on to any old emotions that don't support your goal. If you find yourself feeling insecure or doubtful, gently remind yourself of the feelings you want to cultivate. Shift your focus to confidence, joy, and abundance. The more you practice these positive emotions, the more they will become a part of your daily life. Over time, you'll notice that your reality begins to shift. Your new emotional state will start to attract opportunities and experiences that align with your goal of wealth. Remember, your personality creates your personal reality. Your personality is made up of how you think, how you act, and how you feel. By changing any one of these aspects, you change your life. So each day, practice thinking in new ways, acting in new ways, and feeling in new ways. This consistent practice will reshape your reality and align it with the energy of abundance. It's important to note that this process takes commitment and practice. The brain and body have been conditioned to operate in certain ways, and changing these patterns requires persistence. Don't be discouraged if you don't see immediate results. Keep focusing on your vision, rehearsing your actions, and feeling your desired emotions. Over time, you'll find that your reality begins to shift in alignment with your goals. By following this routine, you're doing more than just wishing for a change. You're actively working to make it happen. You are taking control of your thoughts, feelings, and actions to shape the reality you want. This is a powerful way to bring about the changes you desire in your life. Think of your mind and emotions as tools you can use to create your future. When you focus on what you want and align your feelings with those goals, you start to influence how things unfold in your life. This isn't about waiting for something to happen to you. Instead, it's about being proactive and making things happen through your own efforts. Imagine your future as a blank canvas. Everything you want, whether it's financial wealth, personal growth, or a fulfilling life, is like a picture you're painting. The colors and brushstrokes you choose represent your thoughts, feelings, and actions. By carefully selecting these elements, you are creating the image of your desired future. When you use this routine, you're harnessing the power of your mind. Your thoughts are like seeds you plant in the garden of your future. If you plant seeds of positivity and focus, you'll grow a beautiful garden of success and abundance. On the other hand, if you plant seeds of doubt and negativity, you'll end up with a different result. So it's crucial to be mindful of what you're thinking and to direct your thoughts towards your goals. Your emotions also play a big role in shaping your reality. Emotions are powerful signals that can either drive you forward or hold you back. When you feel excited, confident, and grateful, you are sending out positive energy that attracts more of the same. This positive energy helps you to stay motivated and take the actions needed to reach your goals. It's important to remember that the future is not something that just happens to you. Instead, it's something you actively create. Your future is shaped by the choices you make today, the thoughts you entertain, and the feelings you embrace. By taking control of these elements, you are designing the future you want to experience. To build the wealth you desire, you need to be intentional with your thoughts and actions. This means actively thinking about your goals and visualizing them as already achieved. It means feeling the emotions associated with your success right now, even before it happens. Memories, because it patterns or stamps or embosses networks of neurons into very specific patterns. And then the emotional quotient helps us to remember the event. So we learn something new intellectually. We also cause networks of neurons to form. I mean, the Nobel Prize laureate Kandel in the year 2000 found that when people learn just one bit of information, they double the number of connections in their brain from 1,300 connections to 2,600 connections. So if they didn't review that information or repeat it, the connections pruned apart. So we know then that learning semantic information begins to organize circuitry in the brain, and experiences enrich the brain. The end product of experience, of course, is the emotion, and it causes us to feel certain ways. You can remember where you were on 9/11. You can tell me who you were with, what time of day it was, what you were doing, because whatever you were seeing in that moment or hearing in that moment changed how you were feeling. And the moment you felt altered or you felt differently, significantly, your brain perked up and you paid attention to whatever caused that. And that event in and of itself is called a memory. So then most of our thoughts and feelings tend to be within the neural circuitry of the past and the emotions of the past chemically. So if you take a thought, thoughts are the language of the brain, and feelings are the language of the body, and how you think and how you feel creates a state of being. So if you combine a thought and a feeling, a thought and a feeling, a thought and a feeling, and you have a series of good thoughts that are connected to a series of good feelings, that cycle of thinking and feeling creates what's called an attitude. If you have a series of negative thoughts that are connected to some pretty bad feelings, you'll say, I have a pretty bad attitude today. So if how you think and how you feel creates a state of being, then attitudes are just shortened states of being. The hardest part of all of this, everything we're talking about, is one simple thing: making the time to do it. That's it. Making the time for your precious self to eliminate the people in your life and the things that you do just for a short period of time when you wake up in the morning or before you go to bed at night, and you say, okay, what is the greatest ideal of myself that I want to be today? But listen, I'm not going to get up until I am this person. When you begin to wrestle with your limitations and overcome them, you know, there's so much talk in the United States about self-love. People think self-love is getting a manicure or buying a sports car. That's not self-love, that's pleasure. Self-love is when you're sitting with yourself and you are working on overcoming your hardwired thoughts or beliefs or your emotional propensities that are connected to your past, and you are really working to overcome them. Right on the other side of your pain is freedom. Right on the other side of your fear is courage. Right on the other side of your sadness is joy. It's the same energy. It's just trapped in the body. When you stretch yourself past that point and you break free from the chains of those emotional addictions, the side effect of that is called joy. The body is liberated from that level of mind. When that happens, there's available energy to create with. So when you break through that, you begin to love yourself, you begin to respect yourself, and you begin to love and respect others because you see yourself in them. And now that you're free from it, you can understand them with compassion without knee-jerking in the same way. So the difficulty here is really making the time to do it. And if you began to think about a new way of being and you moved into a state where you said, I'm not going to get up until I am this person, not only did you memorize it neurologically in your brain, but you allowed the thoughts that you were thinking to become the experience, to the point that your body, as the unconscious mind, began to live in that future reality in the present moment. And when you got up, when mind and body were working together in that state of being, and you said, I'm going to maintain the state of being my entire day, and I don't care. Bring on the challenges because I want to test my greatness. And you did that the entire day. The end of your day, when you finished your day, more than likely you'd have more energy than when you started. The literal translation of the word meditation in Tibetan means to become familiar with. The symbol means to become familiar with. So if you're becoming conscious of or familiar with your unconscious self, to the point you're so conscious of your unconscious thoughts, so familiar with your unconscious habits, and so aware of your emotions that you would never let them go by unnoticed by you. There's no chance for you to return back to the old self, to know thyself. And then, if you became familiar with a new self because you neurologically fired and wired it in your brain, and you emotionally conditioned your body, and you were able to do it enough times, sooner or later, it would get easier, and it would become more familiar to you, and you would be able to move into that state of being. By the way, a new state of being is a new personality, and a new personality is a new personal reality. One of the things about substances is that it actually helps to change chemistry in the brain and body, so there becomes a chemical dependence on it at that point. But the person who wants to change has to want to change. That's the first element. In other words, no one can make you change, but you have to find it in you to really see if this is what you want to do. I've studied people over the last 12 years. Why is it that one person, an old-timer, can look at his x-rays and see a spot on his lungs, and the doctor will say to him, "Hey George, you know that's a spot on your lungs. It's nothing now, but if you keep smoking it will be." And that guy just takes his cigarettes, throws them in the trash, and he's done the next day. How do you explain that? He made the decision, and the decision was an experience, and it began to rewrite his chemistry and his biology. How can a person who moves into a state of religious ecstasy, a state of absolute faith, drink strychnine and not get poisoned by it? It's a decision. It's an energetic decision. It's how powerful the mind really is. People then who actually want to make the decision to change have to make the decision with firm intention. Once you understand the how-to, that you can't use your conscious mind to do this, you have to move beyond the analytical mind. When you understand brainwave patterns and when you slip into a different state of mind, that it's easier to do it. So most people then, 95% of who we are by the time we're 35 years old is a set of memorized habits and behaviors that become part of our identity or personality. So 5% of the conscious mind is trying to change 95% of what we've memorized, hardwired, become addicted to emotionally. So the person may want to think positively, but they've been feeling negatively and oiling those programs for the last 25 years. They might want a new life with new conditions, and as they use their mind, conscious mind, to focus on that, their subconscious mind, they've been programmed to feel guilty. That's mind and body in opposition. We have to begin to recondition the body to a new mind. So change isn't hard. It's just that you've got to get the manual to understand how to begin to unlearn and relearn, to break the habit of the old self and reinvent the new self. The latest research in neuroplasticity tells us we're not hardwired to be a certain way for the rest of our lives. The latest research in epigenetics says we're not doomed by our genes, that in fact we're marvels of adaptability and change. So as a person started to contemplate and think about, who do I want to be when I open my eyes? What would it be like to be happy? What would it be like to live a new life? The frontal lobe is looking out into the landscape of the entire brain because it has connections to the entire neocortex, and it's got to resolve the problem. So it starts calling up different networks of neurons that are relevant to the question based on the knowledge the person learns or the experiences that they had, and it begins to seamlessly piece together this new understanding, and that's called intention. And so if you're reading a book about how to become more happy, or if you're reading a book on how to be a leader in your life, where you're studying the process, every time you learn something new, you add new connections to your brains and raw materials for you to imagine even more. The act of mentally rehearsing begins to install the neurological hardware in your brain to look like it's already happened. Now, the brain is typically a record of the past, but the moment we install the neurological hardware, it becomes a map to the future. And you keep doing that, the hardware becomes a software program, which means you start thinking like a genius, you start acting like a happy person because there's no mystery there because you installed the circuits. And then these people didn't wait for their wealth or their health to feel gratitude and to feel empowered or to feel love, a love for life. They began to feel those emotions ahead of the experience, and their body, as the unconscious mind, doesn't know the difference between the experience and their life that creates the emotion, and their emotion that they're creating by thought alone. The body's believing it's living in the future, in the present moment, and the stronger the emotion that they felt, the more they're going to pay attention to the thoughts they're thinking. And now all of a sudden they're changing their biology from living in the past, present reality to living in the future, present reality. And I was so intrigued by this process that I went back to school to study neuroscience because it was the answer in the internal process of rehearsing and imagining. They had long moments where they lost track of time and space, where when they opened their eyes, they thought it was maybe 15-20 minutes later, and it was an hour and 15 minutes later. When we get into the present moment, there's a moment where you lose track of yourself, you forget about yourself, and only in the present moment do you have access, according to the quantum model of reality, to other possibilities. And when you're truly in the present moment, the generous present moment, that's the moment then that you are no longer living in the familiar past or the predictable future. And in order for us to change, I realized that we have to get beyond our environment. And what's our environment made of? People, husbands, kids, bosses, objects, things, places. You got to get beyond your emotions, your body, your pain, your disease, and you got to get beyond this concept of linear time. So when we get beyond our body, our environment and time, we become pure consciousness, and now that consciousness can begin to connect to the consciousness of the field. And all of a sudden I realized that when people are nobody, no one, no thing, nowhere, and no time, that's the moment. And if you could give 1 to 3 different things that we could think differently or eliminate when a thought comes to us or we react in a certain way, if there's something you think, if we eliminated 1, 2, or 3 things and we did this every day for 7 days, we would start to see incredible feelings of differently. We'd feel healthier, more lively, more loved. What would be those few things? Okay? Well, most people, number 1, they get up in the morning and they check their cell phone, they check their text, their WhatsApp, their Facebook, they post something on Facebook, drive to work the same way, do the same thing, so they're in a program. They've actually lost their free will to the program. So if you start your day and you start your day with this simple question, what is the greatest ideal of myself that I can be today? You ask yourself that question. Now listen, your body's gonna go like, well, we've got to get a cup of coffee, and you've got to go, I'm tired, and you've got to go, Body, you're not the mind, I'm the mind right now. You're gonna sit here, I'm gonna feed you, you're gonna get your coffee, you're gonna do all those things, but right now this is my time. You're gonna obey me, right? So now the body's no longer the mind, you're the mind. And so when it wants to get up and you become aware of it, you return back to the present moment. Every time you do that, it's a victory, and you're changing some aspect of yourself. So then ask yourself, I do this all the time. Write down 4 thoughts that you're going to stay conscious of the whole day. I can't, it's too hard. You'd be surprised the moment you become conscious of what those thoughts are, how unconscious you've been to them all day, all for weeks on end. Write down what you speak, how you speak, 4 things you want to change, how you act. How do you act? Do you complain? Do you blame? Do you make excuses? Do you feel sorry for yourself? That's a victim consciousness. What emotions do you live by? Is it possible that you're so used to living by guilt and you don't even know it's guilt? It just feels like you? Do you allow your energy to drop? Become conscious of those states of mind and body and review them and say, this is the old self. Then say, what thoughts do I want to fire and wire in my brain? And start firing and wiring and start feeling it. What behaviors will I demonstrate today? What choices will I make? One day, one lifetime. Just like you did, rehearse them. Rehearse the whole entire thing. Begin to install the neurological hardware in your brain. And if you keep installing it, the hardware is going to become a software program, and you're going to start thinking and acting that way. And then here's the tough part. Can you teach your body emotionally what your future is going to feel like before it's made manifest? And don't get up until you feel that way. Now practice that for a few days, and then see if you can stay in that state and watch all of a sudden all those weird doors start opening for you. Synchronicities, whatever they are. Number 2, take up time at the end of your day. The end of your day before you lay down, and give thanks for your life. Feel gratitude and really teach your body what it feels like. The emotional signature of gratitude. Gratitude means you're getting something. If I give you something that's of value, you would say thank you because you would feel it, right? So when you're receiving, you're giving thanks. So gratitude is the ultimate state of receiving. So then people only accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts equal to their emotional state. So if you're in a state of gratitude, every thought's going to make it right down into your body. If you're saying, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wealthy, and your body's programmed in negativity, it's saying, no, you're not, no, you're not, no, you're not, that thought's going to stop right here. So as you elevate your state, there are about 1-200 different chemical reactions that go on in the body that begin to restore and repair the body in a state of gratitude. And so we've done the research to prove that. 10 minutes and just feel it with all of your heart. That's it. And the third thing, and very important, take time. Whenever it is, sit down, close your eyes, and begin to just open your awareness to the space around you and just sense it and pay attention to it and become more aware of it. The act of opening your awareness begins to reduce the stress hormones and creates more coherent brainwave states.